up your ass. You can stick your new world order up your ass. You can stick your new world order. Stick your new world order. Stick your new world order up your ass.
Excuse me, would it be okay to get an interview with you?
Sure.
So, why are you at the protest today?
A variety of reasons. Mainly, well, I've been at these protests for the last couple of years. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It initially started out because of, obviously, the freedom movement, government thinking it can take away our civil liberties, locking us down. I'm an Australian citizen, so I couldn't get back home for the last 2 years. Today I'm here mainly because they're coming after our children, the 5 to 11-year-olds. I don't agree with that. And I'm standing up for our Canadian brothers and sisters, for my Australian citizens, for all citizens worldwide. This government has no right to claim it can give or take away anything from us. We are free individuals, and that's why I'm here, and I will continue to march regardless of what Boris Johnson says.
And how do you feel about
For adults, if you've made informed consent, if you've been given all the information and you know what you're putting into your body and you choose to do that, or you want to do it for whatever reason, that's fine. Leave the kids alone.
And how do you feel about
It's just rubbish. It's a load of shit. The whole thing is a load of shit. This is a false based on fraud, which I knew from the start, and the figures will show that very soon. Nobody wants to say they were wrong. Nobody who follows mainstream media or follows the narrative wants to say they're wrong. We've all known it for 2 years. We've been out here for 2 years doing this. And like I say, this doesn't stop just because the government says restrictions are lifted. No. It doesn't stop actually till the government is behind bars, in my opinion. That's when it stops.
And what do you think about Boris and the politicians' parties they were having allegedly during?
Oh look, the fact that people didn't wake up when that came out in the news just lets you know how brainwashed some of the general population is. That should have been the wake-up call for everyone. If they couldn't follow their own rules, then yeah. I mean, I didn't follow the rules at all for 2 years because the rules were bullshit. And again, nobody gives you freedom. Freedom is yours. We are essentially sovereign beings. So yeah.
And how do you feel about how younger children will be affected later on in life due to sensory deprivation, perhaps?
Yeah, I feel really strongly. I think on kids is disgraceful, and any parent who's done that to their child shouldn't be a parent. I feel like the emotional damage, not just the educational aspect of it, is going to be huge. It's going to have a massive impact on children. And the fear-mongering, the 24/7, you know, if you don't wear you're going to kill granny, if you don't do this, you're going to kill your granny. I mean, this is disgusting. This is child abuse. We've normalised child abuse in the last 2 years, and it's actually disgusting. It makes me really angry. And I don't even have kids, so...
Stepping away from the restrictions a little bit, what do you think about the Ukraine-Russia sort of side of the world at the moment?
I don't believe a word of the mainstream media, so I do not know what's happening there, but I do know that if you're going out and saying how bad Putin is, and you wouldn't say anything about Canada and what was happening in Canada recently, then you're a hypocrite, full stop, plain and simple. Geopolitics has always been like this. It's always playing out on these wars are like proxy wars between the big powers. I mean, who knows what's going on, but it's a distraction from other stuff going on. It's a distraction because the COVID narrative has collapsed, and now all of a sudden there's a war. We're going to have gas shortages. I mean, inflation's going through the roof. All of these things we said were going to happen. This is all part of what many people say is a plan. The Great Reset, whether you believe it or not, it's up to you. But you know, this is all playing out the way they want it. I think what they didn't count on was these people and this generation that is just not going to give up our individual liberties and say, yeah, you can take them all away. Sure, no, it doesn't work like that. So yeah, we will stand here and we'll stand firmly in front of the children, and yeah, we will continue to lawfully assemble when we want, because we're free individuals and we can do that. And again, no government tells you you're free. Sovereignty is a birthright. Yeah.
How do you feel about the mainstream coverage throughout the alleged?
Yeah, I mean, it's bullshit. They tarring all of us as far right, you know, extremists. All of the marches that they covered, they never covered the massive marches where there was like millions of us. And then when they do cover some of the events happening, it's all a one-sided, biased, mainstream media view. It's yeah, I mean, it's bullshit.
And how do you feel about being labelled a I mean, are you personally
I've had in the past. I would say I probably am now, just simply because I'm never touching anything that this government creates ever again, just because I don't trust them at all. For me, all trust in public health, in the NHS and everything is gone. And the government did that. The government did that over the last 2 years. So I am now. I'm not touching anything.
How do you feel about the random lift of restrictions?
What do you mean random? You mean in this country or?
Yeah, in the UK.
In the UK, I mean, look, again, restrictions for me have always been in people's minds. I don't know why anyone listened to a government that said you can't see this person, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah, for me that's bullshit. I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's weird. I think Sturgeon is lifting hers now, is she not? And then I don't even know what's going on with Drakeford in Wales. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think, again, like, I haven't followed the restrictions. I have not worn I've not I think that was all rubbish. All bullshit. And yeah, if people want to think that Boris Johnson gives them their freedom back, then they're more than welcome to do that. But yeah, I will continue to live as a free individual in what was once a liberal democratic country. I'm not sure what to call it now. Authoritarian fascist regime, maybe? Who knows?
So obviously a lot of people are calling on Boris's resignation at the moment to the country. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a player in the whole global scheme of things, isn't he? So what do we get? We get Keir Starmer? Is it going to be any better? Sorry.
No, it's okay, don't worry.
So yeah, they're all just actors and agents working for, you know, if you believe in the Great Reset, if you believe in globalist powers that be, then anyone who comes in that place is going to be exactly the same as Boris. It makes no difference who it is, whether it's Labour or if it's a Tory, as we've seen. They never opposed any of the restrictions. They wanted more restrictions, harder, faster, quicker. So yeah, if we get Starmer in, I think it would actually be worth. I don't think Boris is a good person, don't get me wrong, but I think the alternative is worse than what we have at the minute. But at the same time, again, this doesn't end until they're all out of power, because they're all working to the same agenda. And they don't care about us, common people, as they would probably call it. All they care about is implementing their new world order. And we say no, we say not on our watch. So we'll see what happens.
How do you feel about how they've considered and in some places gone through with infants?
And that's just for me, again, you know, this is the normalisation of child abuse. I think it's ridiculous. It doesn't affect children. I think one scientist said there's a 0% chance, even if they have severe underlying conditions, that they will die from it. So why are we kids for something which doesn't affect them?
Do you think that all of this is over now? Do you think they're going back or what?
I think will come back, but they'll be under the guise of environmental ones. So it will be to save the planet or to save this and save that. So yeah, I think they will try it again, but I do think they may have overstepped or overplayed their hand. I don't see any of the people I know. I don't think they will allow that again. I think if the past 2 years have shown is that, yeah, I mean, the past 2 years have shown us anything is how quickly our individual rights and freedoms can be taken away. And that was done with consent, with the consent of the public. And that wasn't done for any, you know, compliance. I'm here, sorry.
That's okay.
Public compliance was so great that they managed to do that. And yeah.
How do you feel about the fact they're being covered up?
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting. It goes It's against international law, it's against the Nuremberg Code. Informed consent is really important. And the fact that the media is working to cover these up and not let people know the truth is, for me, the mainstream media. I mean, every single liberal democratic institution has let down the people badly as well, by covering it up, by the propaganda, by not telling people the truth. So they should all be ashamed of themselves. If anything, at the end of this, it will lead to be the full destruction of the old system and something actually democratic and new coming in, because trust is gone between, we the people and the institutions that have governed us, for the last 50, 60 years. Gone. Right, this has smashed it. Thank you.